friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to share my winter favorites, which is going to include all of my favorite books that I read this winter, which is December, January, and February books. And then at the end, I'm going to share a few other things that were my favorites during the winter time that are not books. So let's go ahead and start with the books first, since I know that's the reason why you're here, and then we'll get to the non-bookish things, like I said, at the end. Okay, so I actually have a lot. I usually have like anywhere from like 5 to 7 books, but I have probably double that this time, which means winter was a great reading season. Starting off with none other than A Cross-Country Christmas by Courtney Walsh. I did do an entire weekend reading vlog where Keisha and I buddy read this and vlogged it, and I just loved this. It was perfection. It was a sweet closed door, no smut romance story taking place over the holiday season, and it has like a road trip element, obviously, and it was just like subtly Christmas. I think you can read this anytime, like during the winter, but it was super special to read it like, you know, around Christmas, and just enjoy the Christmassy scenes and stuff like that. This is about Lauren and Will's road trip home for Christmas. So Lauren's wife is expecting a baby, so she's going home for the holidays, and she absolutely hates flying, and of course the brother can't like pick her up, and she can't get there another way, so he arranges for his best friend Will to give Lauren a ride home. And she's always had a crush on this guy Will, but something happened in the past that kind of made it an awkward like interaction, and so now we're finding out like what happened in the past and what's happening in the present, and I just thought it was really sweet and wholesome. So I highly recommend this maybe to read next winter if you happen to have not already read this one. But this was absolutely a 5 out of 5 stars, and all of the books that I'm going to talk about today are my 5-star reads from December, January, and February. So these are all the best of the best. This is a nonfiction book about sleep. It's called The Sleep Solution: Why Your Sleep is Broken and How to Fix It by W. Chris Winters, MD. And this was like hilarious in a way that I didn't even know I wanted my nonfiction books to be. But I do suffer from insomnia, but it's kind of like intermittent. Like sometimes I'll have insomnia, sometimes I'm doing just fine. But last like spring, I picked up this book from the library along with some other sleep books, and I started reading this, and I was loving it so much that I immediately knew I wanted to have my own copy so I could like highlight things and stuff like that, and like actually use it and learn things from it as well. So I almost used this like a textbook, and I did learn so much about sleep while reading this book. So I really do have to thank this book for keeping me like better informed about sleep, habits, schedules, things that can affect your sleep, how you can correct those things, and all of that. And it was so funny. Like there were just like footnotes at the bottom of some of the pages, and they just had me cackling. Like if you ever want to read a nonfiction, you want it to be something enjoyable, because I find when it's enjoyable, it like actually like stays in my brain. So highly recommend if you're looking for a sleep book, you give this one a try. Then more Christmassy things. So I'm going to talk about Love Light Farms by B.K. Borison, which is another super like sweet, wholesome, Christmassy story. This is the first book in the series, and I have the second book in the series on my shelf, which I cannot wait to get to. But this is about a Christmas tree farm that is having some financial difficulty. And so the owner of the farm decides to have this influencer come to the farm, but she lies on the application because there's like a prize, and she lies on the application and says like, hey, me and my boyfriend like run this tree farm, and it's like super cute, but like she doesn't have a boyfriend, so she convinces like her best friend, who just happens to be a guy, to like kind of, they're gonna fake date. Of course it turns into a real relationship, and it's just like Christmas tree farm, like best friends to lovers, and like I also loved the family bits, and even the side characters are really, really great in this. So another one that if you haven't read it, save it until next Christmas, but it's amazing. Another Christmassy book. And then I promise we're moving on to like normal stuff. normal. Okay, so the next one is There's Something About Mary by Cody Hall, and this one is also even like more family centered. So you have Mary Winters, and she has kind of had a disaster of a year, and she is preparing for the most wonderful and busiest time of the year at the Winters Christmas tree farm, and her family is not ready to like hand over the reins of the farm to her quite yet, but there is this new farm foreman named Clark Griffin, and it's their relationship. And this one is steamy, y'all. This is not sweet. This is not wholesome. This is down and dirty, and I loved it. There were a couple of things that I was kind of like, wow. I have not read that word in a book ever, and I'm like, I can kind of do without that, but I absolutely loved it. It's so sweet. It's like, I don't know, it's just like Christmas joy in a book, and I just loved the characters. And like Griffin has a son, and the son is really cute, and I don't know. So if you're looking for books to read like this winter, this Christmas, that just sounds odd to say, but Christmas 2023, I would highly recommend these three. If I had to do it in order of like first, second, third, I couldn't, because they're all 5 stars to me, and they all shine in different ways. Now let's move on to some other more fun books that I read. The first one being The Reunion by 𝒕𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒔. This is what I would consider a classic popcorn thriller. Is it like, is the writing the best thing you've ever read? No. Is it like top tier thriller, new favorite of all time? No. But did I sit down and read it in one sitting, cover to cover? Abso-freaking-lutely. Her stories are just so engaging, and the way that it's like short chapters, mini cliffhangers, you just want to know what's going on. And that was the case with this one. It is about, I don't remember the main character's name, Kate, who is going to her, reunion. And actually the reunion isn't that huge of a part, because like before that even happens, like creepy things are happening. So she goes back to the town where, she had her high school reunion, and they're doing the reunion, and she's in the hotel, and she's getting these weird notes and almost like these threats, and it's just really, really weird. And you're trying to figure out what is going on, because something happened in the past and you're not sure what that was, and now you're just trying to piece the past and the present together. And it was so entertaining. 𝒕𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒔, like I said, deep, in-depth thrillers that you can like dissect and all that, no. Popcorn thrillers, yes. So if you like popcorn thrillers like I do, I highly recommend this one. Then another thriller that I read is All the Dangerous Things by Stacey Willingham. I read this in December, like right before January, because this was the December book of the month pick, and I enjoyed this one a little bit more than I enjoyed her first book, A Flicker in the Dark. But was it perfect? No. What were things obvious? Yes. This is about a mom whose son went missing overnight, like he was in his crib and then he wasn't, and the case has kind of been cold ever since, and she's been lacking sleep since then. So it kind of has a little bit of a insomnia trope to it, but she's also just trying to figure out like who took her son, where is her son, and all of that jazz. And I absolutely loved it. I just love her writing so much. It's so easy to fly through, and it's an interesting, unique story, even though it may be like a little predictable. So I would say these are great for beginners into the genre, but also like veterans alike can just like go into it, expect a good time, nothing too deep, and you'll really enjoy it. All right, so now we're going into my January reads. I reread It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover so I could read It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. And if you don't know, I absolutely loved these. I did talk about these extensively in my January reading wrap-up live show that I did, which, if you don't know, at the end of every single month, the last Sunday of the month, I do reading wrap-up live shows with friends, and we talk about the books that we read in that month. So I read these. It was like my first and second book that I read, and I actually spilled wine all over my original copies, which was heartbreaking, but I got brand new copies. So these are them. These are unread brand new copies, but I do hope to read these again in the future. Whether you love Colleen Hoover or you hate Colleen Hoover, these books hold a special place in my heart. The characters mean the absolute world to me, and the domestic abuse plot line hits very close to home. So I just love seeing Lily get what she deserves, find her happiness, and I really can't say much more than that. But I love both of these. Highly recommend if you don't mind giving them a shot, but they can be triggering, so just take care of yourself. Okay, next up, complete shock, a historical fiction. Yes, Lena, this was one of my favorite books I read this winter, The Lost Girls of Willow book by Ellen Marie Wiseman. This is the story of twin sisters, one that 6 years ago was put into a school, but it was actually like this asylum. But her sister just thought her sister died, and so she's been living all of this time, you know, thinking that her twin sister was dead. And then her twin sister in the school goes missing, and then she finds out that her sister's been alive all this time, and she goes to that school to try to track down her sister. Well, they're twins. So they think that she is her twin, and it's just the horrific conditions in the asylum. There's also like kind of a mystery there, is like what actually happened to Rosemary and things like that. So I highly recommend this if you like historical fiction, if you like sister stories, if you like stories set in like the 70s. Yeah, I really enjoyed this, and I'm not a historical fiction girly. I'm trying, but I'm not there yet. But I really, really loved this one, and I highly recommend. Another Colleen Hoover that I reread this year was Verity by Colleen Hoover. Most of you guys have seen this everywhere. I reread this with my friend Keisha from A Book Like You. She was reading it for the first time. Spoiler alert, we both loved it. Moving on to 3 romances now. These are the 3 romance I want to talk about. Set on You by Amy Lee. This is about a plus size fitness influencer. She's curvy. She is kind of breaking the norm of what people expect, and it's her romance with firefighter Scott Ritchie, and it's kind of like a little bit of an enemies to lovers, but then it's not like, it's not a hate to love, because she was just like frustrated that he took her equipment, and then they find out that their grandparents are getting married, so they're trying not to like go into a relationship and it not work out, and then they're like family, you know. But it was just so sweet and so wholesome, and even though it has a lot of like body positivity messages and stuff like that that I loved, our main character Crystal also kind of learns a lesson about that and like being on social media and stuff. So I just really loved the messages and the themes throughout, and we love seeing a curvy plus size influencer for fitness, right? I mean, I did. So highly recommend this. If you read X's and O's during the X's and O's readathon and you didn't read this one, I highly suggest you go back and read this one. I preferred this one over the second book. Okay. And then I want to talk about Abby Jimenez's The Friend Zone trilogy. So I only have books 2 and 3 here because I rated the first book, The Friend Zone, 4 stars. And if you check out my Goodreads and Storygraph reviews, you'll see why. There were a couple of like glaring things that I just don't think made it very believable. But not the thing that you're probably thinking of, but some other things. But anyway, books 2 and books 3 were amazing. I cannot stop thinking about them. I love Abby Jimenez's writing. I love her characters. I love the situations that they're in. I love kind of like her universe that she's like developed and stuff like that. I just love these with my whole heart. So the Happy Ever After playlist is about the female main character who this dog like jumps in her car, and she's trying to track down the owner. And it's this like famous rock star, Jackson, whatever you want to call him. Like his real name is Jason, but he goes by Jackson. And it's their romance. And like, you know, that third act conflict that everybody's like rolling their eyes out. It was so believable in here to me because you have like a rock star, like a famous person, a celebrity. And then you have like a regular, you know, person. And so the conflict made sense, because I was like, you see that all the time in the real world with celebrities and like regular non-celebrities, you know, and how it can be a little like daunting to all of a sudden be thrust into the world of the celebrity lifestyle and stuff like that. So I thought it made sense. I absolutely loved it. I loved the characters and the dog and just like everything. And then of course I read the third book. I almost wish there was like more to this trilogy, but I'm glad that she's doing kind of like a spinoff, like Part of Your World, and there's going to be a second book and all of that. This one was a little bit different in tone and pace, and it kind of branched off from some of the other characters from the first and the second book, but they do show up in this book. So you definitely do need to read the trilogy in order. This one is about Vanessa Price, and she has like a 50-50 chance of developing ALS because it's running her family and it's taking her family's life, like her mom's life and like one of her sister's lives. And it's kind of like crippling in a way. So she leads like this life that like every day is her last day. She is just like go, go, go. But her sister, like I think it's like her stepsister or something like that. I don't know if it's her real sister, her stepsister. Yeah, her half sister, she ends up taking her half sister's baby in custody. So now she's like stuck in her apartment with this new baby and it's crying. And her neighbor is this like super hottie named Adrian Copeland. And he goes over and he's like, what the heck is going on over here? Let me help you out. And she's like, you're a stranger. And he's like, let me try to help you calm down this baby. And he's like the baby whisperer. And it's just like, they start like a friendship, like hanging out, like helping each other and stuff, because he gets this dog that he needs help with, and she has this baby that she needs help with. So they're helping each other. So it's like friends, and then it's like more, and it's just like, ah! So I highly, like, it took me years to read this because I was hearing such bad things about the first book. And I was like, well, I'm not going to jump into more of the series if the first book stinks, you know? They were wrong. Whoever I heard that from was wrong. This trilogy is like my life, and I highly recommend this. Of all of the books on this list, I mean, it's hard to say, but like this, because it's like a 3-book series, it just means so much to me. And like I said, the first book is not bad, but it's not perfect like these. So highly recommend the trilogy. Okay, so those are the books that were my favorites of December, January, and February. Now I just want to jump into a list of some non-bookish things that I really was loving and enjoying this winter, starting with my candy cane chapstick. You guys, I don't know what it is. It is literally the Chapstick brand, and it is candy cane, and I got like a 3-pack, thank goodness. So I have these sprinkled around my house. I have like one on my desk, one by my laptop, and one by my bedside, and they are just so good, so minty without being overpowering, and they keep my lips like hydrated. So let's just put some on. Oh my gosh. It literally smells like a candy cane. So I say all year long I'm going to be using these, but like especially around Christmas, like, are you kidding me? You go skiing, you pull this out of your jacket pocket and you put on candy cane chapstick. Living. Number 1 is my Stanley. I got a Stanley Cup for Christmas. I got the 40 ounce. Yeah, I got the 40 ounce. My husband bought this for me. So grateful for him, because I have a problem with drinking water. I just won't do it. But yeah, when he got me this, my water game has been on point. Is it any different than any other like water bottle container? No, it's not. It's the same, but I love this one because it has a big handle. It has the part down here that can fit into your cup holder. The lid is a spin-off. It's just like a double-walled thing. So it has the long straw, and it has like a little thing. But this is the game changer, is that you can take this whole thing off and clean everything. Because a lot of times I feel like water bottles have these like really hard parts to clean, and like that's why I don't like them. But this is super easy to clean. It's like 4 parts, these 2, the straw and the cup, and it's just so easy. But you just clip this in here, and you can also drink it like a, you don't have to use the straw. You could just like, it has like a drinkable guzzle part, but I always use the straw. So you just pull this up, put it there, straw in, clip it on, good to go. I'm sure all of you have Stanley Cups, but whatever water bottle you need to start using to drink more water, you know, do it. It's a game changer. Always, the only thing I drink out of my Stanley is water with this, a liquid IV, and my absolute favorite flavor right now. I have two favorites, Concord grape, but I am on this strawberry kick, and I've been on a strawberry kick since the summer, like last summer. So I'm going strong with the strawberry. I feel, now this says 16 ounces. It says add to 16 ounces of water. Absolutely not. That is way too potent. No, thank you. I fill my entire Stanley up till about here with water. So about 38 ounces of water. So double what it says. Then I put this in there. I use the straw to dissolve it. And then I add a little bit of ice on the top. Game changer. I will drink this every day, all day for the rest of my life. So good. Liquid IV is where it's at. You just need to add more water. Okay, and also another food thing is this candy cane crush tea from David's Tea. This is another like wintertime thing. It's a black tea, and it has little bits of like candy cane pieces in there. It smells so good. It looks beautiful. It tastes delicious. And I don't like mint tea. But this is like a subtle mint candy cane. I mean, I'm sensing a theme. Like, are you sensing a theme? I like candy cane mint. I don't know, because it's almost like a subtle mint. But yes, candy cane tea by David's Tea. Candy cane chapstick. We're loving it. And then the last food thing I want to share with you is the Razz Cranberry LaCroix. Hear me out. I am trying to get off soda because I can drink a lot of soda. Pepsi, Coke Zero, Sprite, Mountain Dew, Dr. Pepper, all of the things. I love soda, but these are like soda with like a little flavor. It's a water. It's completely a water. It's a flavored carbonated water, but it's so good. You guys just have to trust me. But try the Razz Cranberry. I already have my new favorite flavor for spring. I've also tried Spindrifts. I like the strawberry Spindrifts the best, and they never have them in stock. Maybe they will this summer, but right now they do not. So I am on my Razz Cranberry LaCroix kick. Just try it. So good, life-changing. A couple more things are going to be clothing items. So you guys have seen this hoodie in so many of my videos. I think it's the Universal Threads goods company from Target, but it is this like pullover that has this like quilted pattern to it. So number one, the color has been great and like a happy dose of color in the winter time, but these are they're like warm, but they don't make you sweaty. And it's just like the same material inside as it is outside. And I just love these. It has like little pockets on the side, little button action. You can like undo the buttons. And it has a hood, which I never use, but like fine. But yes, I have this in this bright pink color, and I have it in the green color. You've seen it in tons of my videos, tons of my vlogs. But yes, I just love this so much. And if I don't know what to wear, I throw on leggings and one of these, and it's just perfect. So I think the pink is my favorite color, and I actually wanted to get another pink one, but they sold out. And Target like actually does not have these anymore, and I'm so sad. Talk Bookish to Me beanie. I created these as a giveaway for the 12 days of Christmas giveaways for my podcast, and Jesse and I have one. We did like a whole little photo shoot with them and stuff. So we did a giveaway, and I gave 10 of them away, and whenever somebody posts a picture in their beanie, I reposted on my podcast Instagram. But these are just so cute. The color was the most important thing to me. I was like, I want an oatmeal colored beanie with my logo the same color that it is on my podcast art, and they crushed it. So it's super comfortable, it's super warm. I love wearing it. We haven't had too many cold days here this winter, but the days that it has been chilly, this has been on my head. But yeah, I love this so much. So get yourself a nice little beanie. Maybe I will do some beanies in the future, but right now I do have baseball hats with my logo on it, so you can check that out. I'll link it down below if I remember. Okay, next up is my rain jacket. We've had more rain this winter than snow, so this rain jacket has been a game changer. It's from LL Bean. I don't even know like which rain jacket it is, but I love LL Bean rain jackets. So it has a hood with like a further zip up, and it has like a big pouch in the front, which I also love because I can keep like my phone, my keys, my wallet, whatever in there in the pocket. The whole rain jacket can fit into this pocket. So if you need to pack it for a trip or something like that, you can just, and you can make it neater. I was just doing it really quickly for camera, but yeah, stow this away, and then you have your rain jacket. Also my puffer jacket by LL Bean. It's just the black puffer jacket. It zips up. I have stuff, oh, I have my gloves, but I love that the pockets have little zips with these like little rubberized things on here. So if you're looking for a lightweight black puffer jacket, LL Bean. And then the last thing I want to share with you are these boots. No, these are not LL Bean, but they do look like they're classic duck boots, but these are actually Wolverines, and I got these at DSW, I believe. But these are so nice because they have the little zippers on the side, so you never have to like undo this. You just leave this tied, and then you unzip it, put it in, and then you can just pull it up. But it has great laces. They're completely waterproof. I wear these for rain and for snow. It has a nice big thing back here that you can like pull them on. And then it has this on the back. I don't know if you can see that, but when you go to take your boots off, you just step on the back of this, or step here because it has like a nice little place right here. You step there and you can like take your boots off. So I really love these. They have a great tread, as you can see. I mean, it's like a serious tread, but yeah, I absolutely love these. I've had these for a couple of years. I think this is my third year having these, my second or my third year having these, but like if it's snowing, I wear these because the tread is amazing, and like I said, they're waterproof. If it's raining, I wear these. Now it does have a leather upper, but it's water resistant leather, and then my husband did treat the leather on my boot. So yes, Wolverines, highly recommend. But that is all for my winter favorites, the best books that I read this winter, and just some other lifestyle-y bits here at the end. Let me know if you liked the inclusion of the non-bookish items that I was loving this season, and I will try to do that moving forward. But that is all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all having a lovely day or night, and I'll see you guys again in another video very soon. Bye, friends.